Today we're going to be making this little doll, and I'm going to be showing you how I made his arms, his body, how I connected his legs to his body, how I made his feet. If you want to know how to make a custom doll that looks like an actual live person, then come along and I will teach you how. Okay, so now we've got the beginning of a body. Let's set that aside and we'll start to make the limbs. I don't really do anything fancy with this. I just do a little roll. I don't roll it around anything. Oh, I got a little piece. I just hold it like that just to keep down my little fold and roll it. It's really very simple. Probably the hardest thing is learning how to do the proportions of your. This fluff is going to become his hand. Okay. You pick either side to be the hand or the arm. What you need to do is make it so that the hand will come down to his hip. So if you hold your own hand up and you stand up, you'll find that your hand reaches just below your hip, kind of mid-thigh. So that's kind of what we want to do. I need to develop this arm a little bit longer so that it will reach down here to the middle of his thigh. Now I'm going to make the beginning of his hand here by just folding under this fluff and making a general kind of a paddle of a hand. As if he was being knit in his mother's womb, as the Bible says. When you're first developed and you're in the womb, your hand does start out kind of paddle shaped, and then individually your fingers get created and come out and separate. But when you're first, being formed in utero, you have little paddles. So isn't that interesting? Okay, so here's the forearm. Make a little bend right there. The wrist is always smaller. And a little there. So we're going to do that one more time. We're going to make a different arm though. Maybe I'll... The way I make the hands, you know, I start with that paddle, and then I just start poking in to define the thumb. And what I do is I work on making this fat part of the thumb right here. So I poke down along the lifeline to do that. And then I poke down over here around the line where the fingers meet. And I kind of bend the fingers up to sort of make that happen. But then there's a fat part right here, so I have to reinforce over here too. And eventually what I'm going to do, once this is all nice and firm, is I will cut with scissors the fingers, and then I will felt where I cut. And that is how I make soft sculpted fingers and hands. See? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut where these fingers are going to go. Just like that. And then what I do is I kind of actually go with my fingers like this, do a little bit of rolling to get those sides, and then a little bit of needle felting to get in there. And we'll work on those little joints and whatnot and do each finger. And actually they're so kind of wispy, I might end up having to lay a little bit more wool, especially on this pinky. This pinky is pretty thin. So around that pinky I'll lay a little bit more wool, so I can work on the pads of his fingers. Won't that be fun? We'll do the same thing up here. And really I need to go along this way so that I can really connect it with the hand a little bit more. Ooh, and then I'm going to actually have to put some color on here too. Let's not forget that. So that's kind of how I go. That's my odd little hand making method. Okay, so I will build up the rest of these fingers and work on the bend of the fingers. And that's how that's going to go. And obviously this hand needs to get a little bit thinner right there too. But see, we'll be building up these knuckles. See how that's going? And you can shape them any way you want. Down, around. And the kids are playing outside. I don't know if you hear them. But we'll work on forming those hands a little bit later. I need to work on this thumb too a little bit. That's the beginning of our hand. Okay, let's get over here and start working on this foot. You see I've got it fuzzy up here for the connection. This is the back of this is the thigh. I'll reduce around the knee. But what I want to focus on now is creating the foot because it's the most fun. I love making feet. I don't know what it is. I like making hands too, but feet are way more fun for me. So we're going to just go ahead and start creating that Achilles heel, or that tendon right there. So you know how it's, the ankle is smaller. So I've got quite a bit of material here. It's thicker, so I'm going to have to reduce all around to start shaping the ankle. Start assembling some of our pieces. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun playing with these hands last night, making them do all kinds of grasp different things and whatnot. It's so much fun to make dolls. So here we go. See, you see I have this, it's triangle shaped, so I've got this void here that's like the hip socket. So I'm going to take all this fluffy part, and that's going to go right there to make the hip. And that'll just save you a whole bunch of time in shaping. It's funny because it actually kind of creates a butt too when you do it. And so sometimes I don't, looks like the one side that, well, I guess I can, no, I can't choose which side's going to be the butt because the feet are already in place. So there's one, oh, that's an arm. We don't want to put an arm down there, but wouldn't it be fun to make some kind of creature that, some kind of creation that was completely wackadoodle? I saw on one of the Facebook pages somebody who made a head and then they attached bird feet to the head, and it was the creepiest looking but fun creation. And it's that kind of thinking outside the box that makes something so interesting to look at. So if that's you and you're watching this, a shout out to you. I can't remember who it was that posted that. It was so fascinating. I think it was on the sculptural needle felting page. So if you're a needle felter, tell me what groups do you belong to? I'm over there on sculptural needle felting, which I love. Very supportive, wonderful group. And then I'm also a member of the needle felting. It's just called needle felting. So yeah, tell me where are you hanging out? Where are you sharing your creativity ideas and your projects? Because you know I love to see what you guys make, but I can't actually see that from YouTube because you guys can't post pictures in the comment feed. Which, FYI, YouTube, if you're listening, I would love it if you would change that, because that'd be awesome. Fabric back here for the butt. But see, the front looks pretty good, right? So, and we'll have to work on this knee a little bit. Get that knee right. Because right now it's kind of down too low. But we'll fix that. It actually won't show up much in the pants, but still. Okay, so now I have this mini bat that is all blended and more flesh toned. So we're going to go ahead and use that to form our head. Now the thing I love about Berkshoft is it does not show any needle stabbings, but when you start moving into the finer fibers like merino and silk and alpaca, you are going to start to see some of the needle sticks. So that's going to take a little extra care later on to smooth out and even out. So that's just something to be aware of. You get a smoother finish, but you have to be more delicate with it. You have to do this thing where you go alongside and across on the top of it to smooth it out. But we'll do some more of that later when we're getting into making the features. Right now I'm just working on getting the actual shape of his head. So what I'm going to... Oh, and I have to remember to leave some space that's not super felted to connect his neck. So this will be... Oh gosh, I think I like the blending on this side better than this side. This seems to be where I've got a lot of the... This will be the back of his head because this is where I've already got a lot of lines. So I'll work on the stability of my head shape back here. And I'm going to have to actually go inside, get my computer, and get a picture of this individual so I can get his head shape just right. Because, you know, everybody has a slightly different shaped head. So we'll start with this kind of egg shape, and then we'll work off of this to create his jaw and make a little neck stem for down here. Okay. Ooh, I wish I'd saved... Well, I saved some fiber, but I'll need to cover his neck in the same back. I'm just connecting all of those fibers from the neck into the head. So there we're just going to work on smoothing this out and firming up his arms and his proportions. Hey, that's it for part 1 of making a realistic needle felt doll. If you found that helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. For this and other fiber arts videos, including needle felting, Nuno felting, wet felting, dye preparation, fiber preparation, dye art, be sure and hit subscribe and the bell notification, and you will be notified the instant the next video goes up. Whoa! Yay! Contemplative thoughts. Anyway, the little Nana doll's not done yet. He still needs to get some color on his hands. He still needs to get his details in his face fine-tuned. But if you're interested in checking out that project, I will put a link at the end of this one as soon as it's ready. If you need any Bergschaf wool, I worked really hard negotiating an amazing deal with the Italians to get the best price in North America for it. So there's a limited supply in my shop now. If you need any more, it will be coming soon. It's in the process of being shipped as I speak. So if it's not there now, check back real soon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for visiting. We love new subscribers.